yourself irresistible. And there is you again who would be in this so-called professional setting, and you will see that you still have other things before you. Every step, every transition, everything carries experiences, it carries responsibilities, it carries, most importantly, challenges, which is the fact or where I'm going to leverage more on in today's conversation, right? And then probably when you get further, or even now, say, you feel like, oh, from the webinar, from what everybody has told you, okay, adding to my my what is it called? My certificate now, I need to get interpersonal relationships, the communication, the decision making, discipline, and all this stuff. Let me tell you for free that even when you get all these things now, they are still icing, right? And there is still a need for you to have, now with the trend and where the whole world is already at, I wouldn't even say driving at. If you don't have tech skill, if you don't have AI skill, all these things are still icing. It will still get to a point where having tech skill, AI skill will still be icing with everything. I don't know if somebody is understanding what I'm saying. It therefore means that until there is the end, there is no end. So you should open up yourself, open up your mind, open up the totality of your being to evolving, to growing every single time, every transition you make, every single time. There is more and more and more that you need to give to yourself, more than you need to. It is something that you should do. It's not something they say, oh yeah, do, oh yeah, okay, I'm just putting myself. No. And that is one thing that I've noticed, that okay, it's really one of the factors that make people to be sluggish in school. When you have this mindset of doing things for yourself being a duty rather than being a responsibility, it's imposes a lot of pressure on you. It's the thought of it alone weakens you, because okay, ordinarily you owe yourself, you are supposed to wake up every morning and take your beat, right? But at some point you now start seeing it, oh my, they do you a favor, no be say I'm just trying to help you out too. This is like two different narratives towards doing one thing. Until you position growing yourself, evolving, becoming the better part of yourself. As a matter of fact, laying a status for yourself. This is who I want to be. And then you tell yourself that everything I'm going to do is what I should do, not what somebody said I should do, or not what the society said I should do. This is what I owe myself. Until then, everything you do for yourself, for your growth, feels like a burden to you. Now, first task I'm giving to everybody is that everybody must talk before the end, or yes, before the end of this webinar. Everybody must talk. And then everybody has a question. One question. That is what everybody should answer. Maybe not, obviously not before this webinar ends, but it's a question that you need to provide an answer for, right? Remember when I was talking about the transition from the secondary school to the university and then to professional world? Permit me to use professional world, or let me just use the real world, so to speak, in this extent. I made mention of it coming with responsibilities, with experiences, and of course with challenges. Now let's talk about the challenges, which is the interesting part of it. Often at times people tell you what you need. People list a whole lot of things that, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, right? Nobody, or most times people don't really recognize the presence of challenges that you need to encounter, and that is also a challenge on its own, right? It's one thing that I do. I always hope for the best while expecting the worst. I don't know if it's I mean, we have amazing people here, so if you have a better narrative or a better thing I could work with, you could also pitch it in, right? But I always recognize challenge at some point, even before I do something, or if I have something coming up, I position some possible challenges, and then I try to think, if this thing was to come up, how do I navigate? How do I solve this? How do I do this? And then sometimes when those things finally happen, navigate through it, it feels like, oh, it's a surreal something that's happened before, but it didn't happen. It was just me saying, okay, I'm going into this hall now. What if I enter this hall now and I don't see what I know? What if I enter this one and somebody throws the paper to me and they catch me and they don't want to listen to me? What if I enter this hall now and probably I'm sweating or something? I just, okay, these are the things. And then I try as much as possible, okay, in this situation, this is what I should do. It helps you to prepare yourself. That is the first step of solving the problem identification and acknowledgement. If I was to say, everybody in this call, bring out a piece of paper, oh yeah, you need this skill, you need this skill, you need this skill, and then I tell you, um, start solving. First question you ask me is solving what? There's no problem there. So you need to identify a problem, acknowledge the presence of those problems, prefer solutions, and prepare yourself in case those obstacles come in. Now, here are some challenges I've written down. You could also type some. As a matter of fact, challenges that you are facing at the stage you are now. I think it's a good thing, or it should be a good thing if you type it in the chat box so that you don't forget, right? Because we're about to talk now, and we're about to have the amazing people. You could even profess solution to someone's challenge, and that way you've impacted that person, no matter how small it is, right? So let's start. First off is the challenge of expectation slash reality gap. I have this expectation in my head. I I know that, oh, okay, when I leave school, I'm going to get a job. That's my expectation. And then leave school, get job, nothing. As a matter of fact, nothing. Somebody now comes to tell you to start frying akara. I mean, you just be looking at your. But funny enough, that's the reality part of it. The expectation you had in your head was, okay, I'm going to, get to probably work in one beautiful setting with the AC. I mean, with the chair, these comfortable office chairs that you roll round, 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 and that, and all of that. And then it doesn't happen like that. First off, you should even know that there is nothing certain in life. That is one thing. If there is something certain in life, I think it's just death. And how and when is not also certain. That's the funny part. The life itself is not certain, right? So whatever thing that you are doing in life is I see it as you gathering um what do I call it now? Resources that would help you to navigate challenges in life and position you towards becoming a better person. So when this reality or when this expectation and reality gap comes in, always understand that nothing is going to the careers that you hope to get are built. They are not something that will be handed over to you. Although in some cases, because I like to recognize some cases, although in some cases, due to nepotism and some other factors, the careers are handed over to some people. But I mean, you are not privileged. Should I use privilege now to get all those careers handed over to you? So what do? You build your career. You build it. First of all, realize that it is not certain that when I leave this setting, I'm going to do this. It is not certain that I'm going to graduate with this. It is not certain that this is going to happen, right? I'm going to do what I can to make it happen. And what I cannot, I'm going to leave it for who can. I'm still coming to that end. And then the second challenge that is really, really important that we note here is identity crisis. Identity crisis that comes in with, as a student, you tell yourself, oh, I'm a student. And when you leave the school environment, you don't have anything to, in most cases, you don't have anything to identify yourself as. And as such, you ask your question, who am I? Right? In this situation, yeah, I think or I suggest, or in my case, because I said I'm going to personalize it so that it becomes more understandable for you. Do not see your graduation as an identity loss. It should be an opportunity for you to create one if you've not started creating it while in school, right? Tell yourself that, okay, I have been in this setting, I've left this phase, this school phase. Now, this is a phase for me to build an identity for myself, use the identity that I already have as a student, and then maybe develop it or refine it or modify it. And then there are some other challenges like lack of experience. Funny enough, in Nigeria, you need experience to gain first-hand experience. That's why even after graduation, person you see 2 years of experience, and then I'm applying to get experience. You're telling me you need 2 years of experience. What an irony! I don't understand. To prevent this, this is something that happens a lot of time. To prevent this from happening, start taking volunteering roles. Start considering internships. See, stop running away from that your class group seminar and projects that they are calling you to come and you say no. No, I want to be in the crowd. Start there. Do public, come and do that and let them laugh at you. Start the little things you do. It accumulates. That is what accumulates to give a massive what was it, results, right? Do internships if you can. Volunteer for roles. See, embrace volunteering and internships. Don't limit yourself. And then there is another one, which is probably the hardest challenge. That is rejection. And this rejection is a very bad thing because why is I would say it's a bad thing because people personalize rejection. They see it as them being rejected. And then they now feel so bad because they now say, oh, eh, I am I am a forsaken person. See, they rejected me. How about you view it from another perspective? Sometimes the skills that these people need, you didn't have much of them. Sometimes someone else fits better into the position than you, which is why you should not personalize it. When somebody says, oh, I'm sorry, we wouldn't hire you, and then you're like, it's the end for me. I can't do this. I can't do that. Sometimes it's even an opportunity for you to sit down and then ask yourself, what could be the problem? Is it my resume? Then you check your certificate. Okay, can I edit this? Can I do this? Don't see it as you. You cannot change your being. You can only change your attitude, your character. You can change your portfolio. You can't change the whole of your being, right? And when you personalize rejection, it becomes you posing that failure to your being. I don't know if I'm making sense. And then there is another challenge, which is a very bad one: fear of the unknown, self-doubt. I mean, I was having a conversation with Sam Velos here the other day. I was like, is fear really the biggest enemy of man, or is it self-doubt? It starts from somewhere. For some people, they'll say, oh, it's fear. But I think for me, I view it from a perspective of self-doubt being the worst. Because it starts with you saying, oh, am I sure I can do this? Am I sure I can do that? Hey, do I think I can? I'm even in a better position for this. This one, everybody is saying professional work, professional work. Do I even have the quality to become a professional? And then there is this fear. And then once at worst, you now see your friends, they are doing well. One friend wins a scholarship, the other one starts a business, the other one travels abroad. And then there is you who is struggling to even survive. You don't even have food. Gary said, don't even they finish. Like just they show you one shaggy like that, right? And then you just start saying, God, I can't even continue. You just give up even before trying. You should be your matrix for growth. The main thing is for you to become better than you were yesterday. Don't compare. There ain't no you are not you are even if you are in a race with anybody, it should be the race between the present you and the older you. Are you better than you were yesterday? Are you doing better? You cannot speak in public yesterday. Now you can talk to somebody and look at them in their eye. You couldn't even lift a pen to write. Now you can lift a pen and write from your head. You can craft ideas. You can ask questions. That is you growing. He's not giving you 1 billion yet. He's not giving you 100 billion yet. But if you are consistent with those little things, it could amount to a place where it gives you beyond what you even imagined. And there is this other challenge, which is financial pressure. And this is something that is common right now. With the situation of the country, it's even very hard. Very, very, I acknowledge that fact. Very hard. I mean, there are a lot of people with amazing dreams and the likes of that. But because of financial constraints, they're beginning to improvise. There was a time it was beginning to even affect me to an extent because ah I really want a very good life for myself, right? But and then I started to think about the present and not about the future that I wanted. And my friend Marvelous called me so that he said that I shouldn't let this my contemporary situation to destroy my permanent future. There's a way he used to say it, don't be reactive, I think, and then try to be. I can't remember. Maybe some of us will just draw it in the chat box so that everybody will see it. It's hard though. That's why I'm listing the challenges. It is hard. As a matter of fact, it takes somebody who is intentional and who is delusional. I used to tell people that to survive in this country, Nigeria, you need to be delusional and have mad audacity. You need to do things that people will say, Omo, you just say that guy even well again. You need to have this kind of audacity that no, I'm not living for this. I want something. I want something better. Now, while in school, there are several other challenges. Challenges like you are reading, it's not entering. You want to give up, you not just want to continue. Some people are even facing these problems because maybe they're not studying the courses they want to study. And that one, I'm a living testimony to that. It's destabilized me in my 100 level. It's really, really affected because I never even knew there was a course like chemistry, and then I got chemistry, and I saw myself in the class taking lectures, and it was more like a dream, right? And then you start living like, oh, let me just do this thing and go. To some people, it's just that, oh, let me just do this thing and go. That is limiting them. To some people, it's a lot of factors combined together, right? And that is why it is very important for you to know that you can't do life alone. When it starts to dawn on, when it starts to become heavy, find somebody. If there is nobody that you can talk, my DM is open. Come online and chat me up. Share your problems. Am I not? I'm obviously not Dangote, neither am I Elon Musk. I don't have 10 billion. I don't have 100 million to give, but I might be able to help to ease that burden at that particular time. maybe would reason together, we position. I would like it when people come to me and they're like, "Oh, I have a problem. I have a problem." I would ask, "What's your problem?" I want you to identify it. It's not like from what you told me, I cannot tell you, "Oh, this is the it." Let's try to be it like this. No, I would want you to tell me from what you said. This is what I think my problem is. I think that's one of the things that helped me, right? And that is why there was a day that I was talking with my dad, and then something happened or somebody said something, and I told him that this is bad. Or does this person even know that this is bad? And he said, "Can somebody mark themselves down?" I told him yes, I do it. I mark myself down. I literally sit down sometimes and then I have a session with myself. I ask myself, this thing that I did now, this thing that I did now, did I do it well? Is there another way I could do it? If I was to be in this particular position, can I do it? I used to sit down to have this conversation, but because I've been doing it often and on, I could be washing plates, I could be doing this, and then I'm having introspection, self analysis, telling myself, okay, this part is bad, this part is okay, let's try to do this way. This is something that is very, very helpful. It helps you to identify your areas of weakness, right? And be able to work on them. And there is this other challenge of I'm not doing good, I'm not doing better. And I've hinted on it before when I said don't measure yourself with people. Now, when this challenge of I'm not doing better comes in, there is something that I always do. And this is it. I'm going to share it with everybody. There are moments when I feel like, oh, I'm not really at where I need to be. Oh, I've not done this. I've not done this. Oh, if I tell you my dreams, sometimes when I write things that I need to achieve in a paper, I just start saying, God, I beg, oh, not just vex for me. Oh. Make God not just vex, take my life because they're actually crazy. Yeah, but and then I have it in my head that this thing I've written here, I think that I'm going to. I'm not saying I hope I will. No, these are things I am going to. I'm saying it's a certainty. I am going to get them right. But then sometimes I look at them and I feel so down because probably I've not gotten much of them, or probably because I've not really, done much. This is what I do instead. I start to remember things, good things that have happened to me. Now, when I say good things, you might be thinking about somebody sending me 200 billion, 300 billion. No. Good things like I can open my eyes, I can see my eyes. And then what precedes it is thank you, Lord, that I can see. Because until you close your eyes and not open it, you will not appreciate the gift of the eyes you have. And then I go on and on and on to start appreciating the things that I have. Thank you, God. I don't say thank you, God, for everything. No. Thank you, God, for the mouth that I have. I can talk. Thank you that my legs are walking, my hands are moving. Thank you that I have a family that I can run to. Thank you that I have people that genuinely care for me. Thank you that I can do this. Thank you that I can do that. By the time you wake up every day and you repeatedly show gratitude and appreciation, right? You see that you actually have something. You actually have more than you think you do. Because this is what we do. We position ourselves, our minds to relax. And this is something that is bad because it makes you to leverage more on your lacks. You fail to see the things you have and you focus on the things that you do not have. Am I making sense? Can everybody hear me? Please react so I can know if people are actually with me. All right. Thank you, Rejoice. This is only Rejoice that I've been talking to. Thank you, Anita. All right. Oh, thank you, Marvelous. Thank you, Divine. So let me continue. Now, for these challenges and many more other challenges that you are going to encounter, you need three things. I call them three reactants. I also call them three catalysts. And these three things are yourself. You need yourself before you can do anything. I know, I mean, I might sound crazy, but yes, you need yourself. You need yourself beyond my name is Frances. You need yourself to the extent that you you have a status for yourself. I cannot be found in every settings. I cannot I cannot position myself as a fruitful person and I'm always found where lies swim in oceans. You need yourself that would believe in yourself. You need yourself that wants the best for yourself. Yourself that is always eager to make sure that you get the best. Yourself that is not ready to compromise for failures and limitations and you say, oh, I'm giving up on who? Hello? Who one can't take over from that place that you're giving up? You need your God as a human. Now, everybody talks, or people most times talk about mentorship. Mentorship is a very good thing. It is something that's helped me, right? It is something that's lifted me at my down moments. Probably because I found the right people, people who genuinely care. And that is what you also need to consider. It's not always about getting mentors. Are you even working at the same lane with these people? You cannot be going to New Benin, your mentor is channeled towards Ringwood. And because of desperation that comes with finding a mentor, people most times fall into the hands of people or mentors who extort them, people who don't even care about you. They just want to use you and shine in some times. So don't let your desperation put you at the wrong places. Mentors, you are thinking about somebody who is very, very far, somebody who is already CEO, maybe Otedola or somebody. You could, your mentor could even be your sister, but maybe because you've seen your sister finish, that she wakes up by 10, you fail to learn from your sister. You fail to position your sister as somebody who you comfortably and confidently talk with. Your mentorship, it could even be your professors, yes. Because I've noticed something, maybe because of the stigma that are placed on lecturers, people run away from their lecturers. Students, no, because they said, oh, or because of the things that we see online about some people who are promiscuous and they request for one or two things before they'll be able to pass you and then you generalize it. You miss people who are supposed to position you, people who has passed through the phase you currently are in, people who are supposed to realign you. I almost gave up on my studies a lot of times. I cannot count how many times I went into my professor's office. I sat on her chair and I was crying. I told her, Mama, I want to give up. I and every single time that I went to that office, I came out filled. I came out with this zeal for me to do more, right? And then you need God as divine. Let me even bust your head. Do you know that you could even get the best grade, get the best interpersonal skill, learn the AI tech and everything, and still you still don't get to that point where you believe you're supposed to get to? I don't know about you. I'm pretty sure that some things does not need your approval to be able to be true, right? That's why where God comes in. God should be part of your story also. But in this situation now, you go to God. I'm a very big advocate of God because all my life I can't say Francis without seeing God. I can't say Francis without seeing God, right? So when these challenges are beyond what you could do or what somebody around you could help you do, there is God who is always willing to help you do them. And with this amazing, or rather, with this few points of mine, when I used to do this, I believe I'm able to convince you and not to confuse you that one or two or three things that you need in this life is yourself, your God as a human, and your God in his divinity. Incorporate everything you heard from this webinar, every single thing. Sit down. What I said works for me might not work for you. What everybody said works for them might not work for you. Analyze them. Figure out the ones that works for you, and the ones that do not work for you, keep them aside. Don't throw them away. They might not work now, but they might work later, right? So thank you all. Thank you everybody who is on this call. Thank you so very much. My time is up. So yeah, we're about to move over to the next session, which is the let Asa to do what she knows how to do best. But thank you so much for having me here. It's amazing time, and I hope I was able to say something that maybe one person could help, even if it's just one person. I'm very much okay. Thank you so much, everybody. Ese, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening. Okay, it's time for question and answer. So please let's also drop our questions on the chat box, or you can unmute your mic and ask your question. Thank you. Please let's keep our questions coming. The floor is open for everyone to ask their questions. Someone has a question. Ha, I'm supposed to have 20 questions. So this is the final day, so we should be asking lots of questions right now. Don't worry, we don't bite here. Please let's ask our questions. Thank you.
Okay. Hello. Um, in the absence of questions, I have questions though. So maybe I should just ask my own so that we'll be able to chip in ideas. I think that's also a better approach, right? So can I go ahead? Can you hear me? Okay. Okay. So my first question is this: how do you think that a young professional should distinguish between persistence that leads to growth and persistence that simply delays necessary change? Marvelous, could you help us with this one? Or if there's any other person who has an idea, if you can just unmute your mic, just say it. That thing that is in your head that you are telling yourself now that oh no, this one I don't want to come. I don't want to mess up. Say it. Nobody's going to beat you. Nobody knows the hostel to come and kidnap you or anything. Just unmute yourself and say it. Let me repeat the question. How do you think that a young professional should be able to distinguish between persistence that leads to growth and persistence that delays necessary change? So marvelous. Let's start with you. Thank you.
Okay, sorry, can you take the question again?
Okay, so the question is this: how do you think that a young professional should be able to distinguish between persistence that leads to growth and persistence that simply delays necessary change?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Um, the question, let me just read the question again if I got that right. You're asking the difference between persistence that leads to change, sorry, persistence that leads to growth and persistence that leads to change. How to differentiate between the two, right? Hello, did I get that right?
No, I said, how do you think that professionals should be able to distinguish between persistence that leads to growth and persistence that delays necessary change?
Okay, okay. I think I got the question right now. Um, I think a useful way to think about it is this: persistence. Persistence is commitment to a purpose, right? And then change is flexibility in the path. So I think most times we often confuse the two because people basically they quit too early because results are slow, or they are persistent in the wrong strategy because I think it's a popular opinion that endurance alone guarantees success, right? So I think, like I said yesterday in my session, I think when you begin to ask questions, you most likely would develop faster than when you seek answers, right? So I think here are a few questions that can help you to distinguish between them. And yeah, I think how do I put this? Okay, yeah. I think one very important question to ask is this: am I improving even if the results are obvious? Because growth often comes with increased competence, and better judgment between to differentiate between opportunities, right? And those things often come before you can actually see success. For example, you could have you would know if the evidence is actually telling you something or otherwise. For example, a case study would you're doing something, right? You're doing something. Let's say you're into baking, and it to you it may look like you've not progressed, right? But you are still persistent in whatever you're doing to be a better baker, right? Now, if you should ask this question, would somebody, I think if you decide to mentor somebody, I think that would help a lot. I think, yeah, I think that's a better way to figure this out. So I'm baking, and I'd ask myself that, can I actually teach somebody to do this thing? Right. And then if your answer is no, or if you cannot give a concrete explanation to your answer, then I think that already tells you a contrast between whether you are actually persistent in something that is leading to growth, or your persistence is just something that gives a necessary change. I don't know if I got the question in terms of the context that you made.
Okay, yes, you did. Thank you so much
Uh,
for that. Okay, thank you, so marvelous. So my the next question here is, how do you think students should prepare for a labor market that is changing faster than the university curricula while still in the university? So let me rephrase. Students are still in the university, right? How do you think they should prepare for a labor market that is changing faster than their university curricula? I don't know if the question is plain enough, or should I explain better? Who is answering? Should I point anybody? Essay, let me hear your opinion on the question, because I mean you you're a smart person, just like every other person here. So just say something, anything.
Like, can you repeat the question again? Thank you.
Okay. So my question is this: how do you think that a student while still in the university, yeah, should be able to prepare for the outside world, the labor market, with the changes occurring in the labor market? Explaining it further.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, explaining it
Okay, how
further.
do I think a
Okay.
student can prepare for the labor market outside school? Did I get that question right?
Okay, yes, but the core of the question lies on the changing the, the fact that the labor market is changing, it's advancing. They are moving every day from this trend to this one to this one to this one.
Okay. So what I think is that as the labor market is changing, as everything is evolving, a student should also do the same thing. What you learned today, you may not be able to apply it tomorrow. So you would have to continuously learn, even as the world or as the labor market is also evolving. So you will learn and you will evolve too, so that you can fit in into the labor market. That's my answer.
Okay, that's a nice one, Isi. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for the answer. Yeah, so just to add to what she said, yeah, in my own opinion, I think that the student should just position herself towards growth, towards learning, just like she said, such that while still in school, now that everybody's talking about AI, you have the opportunity to learn about AI. Maybe by the time you leave school, AI is no longer in trend. There is something in trend, right? AI will not automatically be wiped off. It will still be in use. Just that there is something else that is there, right? Now you already have the knowledge of the AI. So when you now leave the school, or while still even in school, or at the process of transitioning from the school to the labor market, you now continue with the other the current trend within the labor market. So you shouldn't have this perspective of I am going to learn AI just because I want to go and work with this company. You should learn AI because you want to apply it in all aspects, if possible, of your life to make positive changes. And then my next question is this: how does what's okay, I think I've answered this question. It's about failure, the role that it plays, and how students should respond to it. My next question is this: how does self-doubt influence the decisions students make about their future? And what practical steps should help to build genuine confidence? So I spoke about the self-doubt aspect. So am trying to become optimistic that somebody, or even though all of us here would say, "Oh, let me answer." But then, Anita, could you help us out, please? Is Anita still with us? Abigail, your name sounds so nice. Please, could you chip in one or two things? What's what do you think that how do you think that self-doubt influences the student's future, and what steps do you think they should take to build confidence? Abigail, please unmute yourself and share your insights.
Good, good
Thank you.
evening.
Good evening.
Please, can you come again with the question?
Okay, so the question is this: how does self-doubt influence the decisions that students make about their future, and what practical steps would help them build genuine confidence?
Hmm. Okay. What? What? I'm trying to like get it. You said what? Wait, please. Can you come again one more time? The question. Sorry.
Okay, so the question is this: how does self-doubt influence the decisions that students make about their future?
Okay.
That's like
Okay. I get it
first.
now. How does?
Mhm.
Sorry. How does self doubt influence the decision student makes, and how can they like overcome it? To put it in short.
Exactly.
Well,
Yes.
one thing to like doubt yourself as students, it's based on maybe they look at how they are now and not looking at what they actually want to achieve. So if they keep doubting themselves, it will limit their dreams. It will limit how they work towards the things they can actually like accomplish if they are being affirmative. But if you have self doubt as a student, you will definitely be pessimistic. So it will disturb you from dreaming big. Yes, having big, working towards your visions. So, and the second question you ask, like, how can they like overcome it? Well, I think I'd say they should be more positive with whatever they are doing. They should find where they are good at, what they are good at, and like be disciplined in it. Yeah, work towards it. So I think that's what I have to say. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Abigail. Thank you. See, you just delivered a wonderful response at the spot. Or maybe before now you are like, ah, later no call me, later no call me. See?
Actually,
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Okay, if you have more
thank
questions, the call is about to end in 12 minutes, so we're trying to work with time. If you have more questions, please endeavor to drop it on our YouTube channel. And if you have questions that you want to ask me, you can chat me up, send me a direct message, or you can go to my LinkedIn account, Okechukwu Frances Chagozi, and then send me any message. Right? Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for joining. We're trying to work with time right now so that this call doesn't end suddenly. So yeah, essay. Essay, are you there? I think she's having network issues. Essay. Okay, so while we wait for essay to come online. Do well join join the WISA group chat, our community. You would learn, you would meet amazing people, network with people, um, and then do well to also follow us on LinkedIn and other social media apps. WISA is, of course, WISA, of course, is the handle WISAR. And yes, okay, how can I join the WhatsApp group? Let me send the link here, or you can you can use LinkedIn or TikTok or any of them. In case I'm not able to send before the call ends, you can use either of these social media apps and then get us, and then endeavor to also engage on our posts. This academic webinar was really nice and impactful, and imagine what you would gain more if you are in this community. Okay, let's go to the chat box. Samavelos has dropped the link there to the group chat. You network with people, ask questions, grow. Somebody's coming to help you. Even if somebody's coming to help you, you save yourself first, right? So, yes. Esther, are you here?
Yes, yes, I'm
All
here
right.
already.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Ma Frances, for such an insightful speech. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us for the 3 days webinar. Just a little announcement. Please, Olajumoke, I've dropped my WhatsApp number on the chat box. Please ensure you message me. The speaker for yesterday, my precious, she has a gift for you. So please message me on WhatsApp. Thank you very much. Please let's also join our WhatsApp group chat. The link to our WhatsApp group chat box. Follow our social media handles on IG, YouTube, TikTok, and also LinkedIn at Wisa Official. Okay. So as we come to the end of this webinar series, I would like to express my heartfelt appreciation to everyone who made this program a success. First, I would sincerely thank our speakers in the presence of Ma Miracle, Sir Emmanuel, who spoke on Friday, my precious Sam Marvelous, who spoke on Saturday, and my Francis for today. I want to sincerely appreciate the speakers for sharing their knowledge, experiences, and practical insight with us. I truly appreciate the time and effort invested in making today's session impactful. Thank you so much to our speakers. To our participants, to everyone here, I want to appreciate you all for your consistency, enthusiasm, thoughtful questions, and active participation throughout this webinar. Your commitment is your commitment to learning is very inspiring. We also extend our gratitude to the WISA leadership, the organizing committee, the program's lead and our team, our moderators, and everyone who works behind the scenes to ensure the smooth execution of this program. Sincerely, I would like to appreciate everyone, including the governor of the Faculty of Physical Sciences, University of Benin. I would like to appreciate the founder of WISA, in person of Samabelo Seyide, and the co-founder of WISA, in person of Ma Frances Okechukwu. Thank you so much. Although this webinar has come to an end, I hope that the conversations and lessons will continue. I encourage every one of us to stay connected with WISA through our WhatsApp community and look out for more opportunities to learn, network, and grow. Thank you once again for being a part of this journey. We wish you continued excellence in your academic and professional pursuits. Have a wonderful evening and safe regards to everyone. Once again, I remain your host and program's lead, Esoe Alikwe. Thank you very much for joining our webinar, and I pray God bless you all in Jesus' name. Amen. Have a great night and bye bye.